For the Culture Radio. I got myself, Maine, Tina, and we coming to you again with an episode about coronavirus. But before we do, we're gonna take a quick break. We want everybody to get their thoughts together. Come on in, and we're gonna talk about this coronavirus thing. So if you can, tell your mother, tell your father, tell a friend to all log in to We Do It For The Culture video, and we're gonna be coming back to you guys live and direct. All right, let's go.
See something about. Oh my God.
Welcome back to We Do It For The Culture, where our people matter. I have myself, my boy Man.
What's happening, everybody?
Tina, what's up, Tina? Tell everybody, say hello to everybody, Tina.
Hello.
This is We Do It For The Culture, radio, where our people matter. We're talking about the coronavirus, everybody. It's been going on for a couple of weeks now. No cure. But what I understand is about 22,000 people nationwide now that have the coronavirus. That's only in our nation. Have you ever heard any new things, Tina, at all? Any Tina, Main, any new things come that you heard about?
I think that the number is more around 14,000 in the U.S., but yeah, we're I think around 200 dead.
Okay. 200 dead?
200 dead. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. The way they're making it sound, you would think it would be more people dead than 200 people. You know, but what are you gonna do? I know.
200 is a lot, though, in a couple of weeks. You know?
Yeah, that's rapid.
Tina, you probably have 200 people. You got probably have about 1,000 people with the flu better than 200. Come on, I mean, come on. I think there are more people dying from the flu than coronavirus. 200 people. Come on, man.
You know how many people died from
Yeah.
the flu, though?
How many?
Yeah.
Not as many as who died in the last 3 weeks. I'm just
You know.
saying. I'm just saying. I can get the statistics for you.
Okay. Man, what you think, man?
I, I don't know. It's a new thing. It's brand new. So, in order for us to like put it up against something else, it's like I don't think it'll be fair just as of yet. You could probably put it towards something else if it continues. You know what I mean? So it's only been here like how long? A few weeks,
January.
few
No,
months,
actually,
January.
Well, January apparently the government knew about it, but we didn't really know about it for until last month or so.
I,
Right.
I don't know why it's affecting places like Italy more than any place else. I mean, because from what I understand, as far as in Japan or what is it, China, they have no more new cases. Isn't that kind of us considering that it's supposed to get started over there?
They're shutting it down though. They're shutting it down. It was growing rapidly over there, but they started shutting it down. But I don't believe that we're being told all the numbers of the people that were infected and the people that passed away.
But
Um,
how can they
Well,
have
I
no
think
new?
particularly China though. China's pretty secretive
yeah,
usually for anything.
right,
Really, they're very
right.
secretive.
So you think that they're being secretive about the number of new cases that they're getting over there?
I think that China was very secretive in the beginning and didn't want anybody to know at all. So
Mhm.
we didn't know anything until it just got out of control and they couldn't hide it anymore. But I don't know if we'll ever know China's real numbers. But looking at President Trump, I don't think we'll ever know the U.S.'s numbers either.
Right.
I was hearing that they were saying that Iran, China, a few other countries have gotten together to start an investigation towards the United States
Hmm.
on based on the United States starting the virus, spreading it, but also saying that it started someplace else. So they started a whole investigation. At least 5 or 6 countries have gotten together to start an investigation towards the United States, stating that the United States started the virus, was responsible for spreading it, and then also trying to say that another country, it came from another country. Have any of you guys heard anything about that at all?
Yeah, I heard something on it. If that is anywhere near the truth, then there may be some type of a war that we couldn't afford to go through. Those kind of powerhouse countries there, especially China. And Iran is already mad and want that smoke, but they can't deal with us by themselves. So what they're trying to do is piggyback off of this disease, this virus, and actually join in with China if there is some type of ramification.
I'm, I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that what they're saying is not true. What I am saying is that I wouldn't be surprised if it
Right,
wasn't true. I
right, right.
just, I mean, you can say what you want about me. I don't trust our government, and I don't trust our media. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't put anything past them. You
yeah,
know,
that's a
especially
fact.
with the elections coming up and everything. I mean, I think they'll be trying to look for all kind of things to use as a decoy with this upcoming election coming up.
Yeah, but who does this benefit really?
I
I
would
mean,
think,
all right, so I'm of the mindset that you follow the money, right? So
Hmm.
who is benefiting, right?
I
So
would,
who is it benefiting from Americans being infected?
I would say it benefits the incumbent, which is Donald Trump, because if
Yeah, but
he's
he
the
he denied it for a good 3 weeks at least that it was even happening. So
and I think he had good reason for denying it. I think he wanted to let it get some nice little tribute because at first what was he saying? Oh, it's a hoax, whatever. I think he
Right.
knew very well that it wasn't a hoax,
no, he
but
do.
he think he knew it was a hoax. That's what they were saying. He said it was a hoax.
So what is the benefit though? So like people don't do things that are untrue unless there's a benefit to them. So what is the benefit to Trump to have hundreds, if not thousands, of Americans die from the coronavirus if or COVID-19 if it was true? I mean,
I don't,
don't get me wrong. There is no part of my entire being that supports Donald Trump. However, so I'm trying to say, where is the connection? Like, there's a connection somewhere. Now we can see some of the senators who've sold off their stocks or whatever, trying to slow the hysteria over the virus because they wanted to sell off their stocks and buy all the stocks that were going to be towards like telecommuting and all that stuff. We heard about that woman who did that. We get why they did that, but I'm not sure what Trump's motivation was, besides the fact he didn't want our numbers to be high. That was one of his
Right.
biggest things. Remember,
I was
he wouldn't let the cruise ship come in. Remember, He wouldn't let the cruise ship come in because there was hundreds of people who were potentially infected, and he didn't want to let them come in because he didn't want the numbers in America to go up, because that was his measure of how badly we were handling it.
I think it benefits him in the same way 9/11 benefited Bush, because Bush was on his way out the door. Anybody who was paying attention to the election process and the polls, Bush was on his way out of the door. And 9/11 saved him and got him reelected only on the strength of the fact that people did not want change at that time. They didn't feel like change would be a good thing for what was going on in the country at that time. And I think that's what saved him. And when you look at our history, anytime we've gone through a situation like something that was major like this, it's always been a situation where, the current president winds up being able to stay in office or get reelected. And I think the same thing for Trump.
Always around election time, right?
Always around election time. Always. Anytime you're in office, you have to do something like, Jermaine, I think you can understand where I'm coming from. When we was out there, on the block doing our thing and selling drugs, the current mayor who was in office, he had to do something to make himself look good around election time, And what better way to make yourself look good around election time is to do a sweep and arrest as many people as you can to make it look good on yourself.
That's absolutely right.
And so this is no different. It's just on a bigger scale. The same way Bush, if you've been paying attention, the whole 9/11 thing, and you look at the history of Bush family with Osama bin Laden's family and everything that went on, you know that he benefited from that whole 9/11 situation, him and the vice president, Cheney, and it also got him reelected.
Well,
this one here is on
I agree.
Go ahead, Tina.
I'm sorry. No, I was just agreeing.
No, okay. I was just saying, like, this one here is on a much larger scale. Like, 9/11 was really bad. But
for New Yorkers, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is all over the world and all over the state. And also, it's a lot of things that are shut down, like sports. Sports is billions of dollars being lost. Restaurant industries is getting hurt out here in New York and all over these, like the tri-state area, all the way to California. California is shut down. It's a lot of money being lost behind this coronavirus. So for us, it would be kind of detrimental.
You don't think it's a scare tactic at all?
I can't even call it. I can't call it. Because people are actually dying. So I've never seen people go to those lengths just to be a president.
Okay, here's the thing. So people are dying. People are dying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I pose this question to both you and Tina. I'm born and raised in New York, right? I lived in Delaware for 10 years, a little over 10 years. I lived in the DC area for a little over 5 years. I'm here in North Carolina now. Out of all the states that I've lived in, born and raised, spent lots of time, I know a lot of people. I'm sure you guys know a lot of people as well throughout your travels. I personally don't know anyone who has contracted coronavirus. I don't know anyone personally who's ever contracted mad cow disease, swine flu, bird flu, Ebola, any of these viruses that the people so-called died from. How come I don't know not one person? And I ask you this question too. Do you know anyone who has died from any of those viruses? Come on, keep it going.
No.
Not any of those, but I do potentially know somebody who actually might have coronavirus. Right. Not personally, but I'm connected to them virtually. So, I don't think that coronavirus is a lie. I don't think it's a made up thing. In fact, I don't think Trump even, as much as I give credit to him for anything, but I don't think Trump created this because he was trying to deny it for the longest time. He didn't want to be the president that was tied to coronavirus. That's why he calls it ridiculously racist names like Chinese virus and what do they call it? Kung Fu flu. Like, could you be more racist? So I think that he's trying to tie it to someone else and somebody else, whatever. And so then then he says ridiculously it's just stuff that just gets people in trouble. Like you heard about Nigeria, like running out of what it was like what is it called, chloroquine, because Trump said that that cures the coronavirus. So the
Oh yeah,
Nigerians ran
I
out
did
and
hear
bought
something
it.
like that.
Did
I
you
did
hear
hear
about
something
that?
like that. Yeah,
So
yeah,
people are overdosing on this in Nigeria because our
Right.
idiot president turned around and said that nothing cures it. Nobody knows what cures this. But he says this, and he goes out there, and like people are like, "Oh, well, the president of one of the world powers is saying this is a cure. We're gonna go out and get it." Nigerians are dead on the streets.
What about
So
this whole malaria thing? I was saying about this whole malaria thing that they had that they were going to be using for to help cure these, but I was hoping malaria kills people or something like that. But I was
no, malaria does, but they're talking about the treatment for malaria could possibly cure corona or the COVID-19.
Mm,
So that was this chloroquine, whatever
right.
this drug is. I don't know it, but this drug is apparently one combined with another, and I don't remember the name of the other drug, but those two together have been used for other illnesses. And so this idiot said that this
Mm,
will cure it, and so people are running out and buying it and ODing on it because
mm.
Nigeria doesn't have the resources we do, so they're assuming he knows more than they do. They go out and buy it, and they're dead.
wow.
Not from coronavirus.
Unbelievable.
Ridiculous.
Well,
Ridiculous.
I tell you like this, we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna come back about this coronavirus. So we're gonna have a word from our sponsors and maybe a little music break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. You guys come back in and stay tuned to the coronavirus. All right? Thank you.
About 5 minutes. Taking a break, commercial break.
Oh my goodness. Let's see what I.
Everyone can see and hear you. Y'all thought we couldn't hear each other.
We can right now. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. These shades off. I can't see shit.
You can drink the rest of my soda. Yes, thank you. No, yeah, I'm good after this. Thank you. You're the best.
My wife be saying when she get one over, "You the best."
No, I didn't get one over. He's my sugar booger. Wait, are you just gonna eat the nachos? What happened to the food? Are you still hungry? I'm doing my thing. There's a commercial break. I want to watch you do your thing over there eating chips. So I had to create a new page because I'm not jumping through hoops like that for no Facebook.
Wow, it says right here. A new page for the show. What is
No, I'm creating a page for the driving range I was telling you about.
it? 25,768 confirmed. Oh, okay.
All right. Welcome
You
back
said
to
it
We
like
Do It for the
20
Culture
seconds
video
ago. I hope I'm not that delayed.
with myself, Main the Menace, and Tina. If you haven't listened, we've been talking about the coronavirus. We've all gone over a few things about, where it may have started from. We've talked about some of the vaccines, some of the ways they're trying to cure it. In any event, I think it's gotten out of hand. Some of us believe it's a conspiracy, some of us don't, right, Tina?
That's all right.
I know one thing. I know it's getting serious because now you got the schools. Schools have been closed. At first, they said schools were going to be closed for a few weeks, and now it may potentially be closed for the year.
Yeah.
Tina, you get able to shed a little bit more light on that. What's going on with the school system, Tina?
Well, my school, so I teach at adult ed, and they told us, well, they were kind of hush hush about it a little bit. Like they were like, oh, we're just gonna clean the schools, and like we're gonna do like a deep clean or whatever. And I'm like, we're not going back. As soon as they said we were going to deep clean the schools, I'm like, you're going to deep clean the schools and let the kids back? Nah, you ain't let us back. So sure enough, the next day they told us we weren't coming back until the 27th. And then Ned Lamont said, okay, we're going to, in Connecticut, that's our governor. And he said he was going to close the schools till the 31st. So now I've gotten correspondence from the school telling me that we're going to go online, which is fine by me. I'm techie, so I could do that, but I don't know. So then like I saw some news article that said Connecticut's closing their schools until, the rest of the year. So I have no idea what's about to happen.
Same here. I heard the same thing here in North Carolina that they're trying to close them for the year. Is that same thing going over there in New York, Maine? Maine?
I think there's a little bit of a delay.
Okay. So yeah, I know they've been saying the same thing here in North Carolina that the schools may be closed for the year. Now, does that mean that they won't drag this into the summertime or maybe do some summer school or something like that?
Oh, there he is. I know that Ned Lamont
I'm in
waived the
Connecticut,
180-day
so I
waiver.
don't even know
Oh, he's in
much
Connecticut
about
too.
New York. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I just know this. I figured it may probably go into the summertime. They may try to do something to try to make up for some time.
Well,
in
Ned
the summertime.
Lamont waived the 180-day requirement. So all schools in Connecticut, I don't know about the other states, but all schools in Connecticut have a 180-day requirement. So we have to hit 180 days with students in school for them to move on to the next year. Ned Lamont waived that. And so he said, listen, depending on when we go back, I'm gonna waive the 180-day requirement so that they can still finish around when they were supposed to. Because there's also teacher contracts that doesn't allow teachers to teach beyond June 27th, 30th. So it's a lot to kind of make work.
Yeah, I just think that with everything, with all the homeschooling that's going on now, I think once some of the parents start doing the homeschool, I think they may feel like, you know what? No, I think this is better anyway. I don't want to have to deal with this going in the future. I'd rather just, homeschool my kid going forward. And that's gonna be bad for the school system. You would think, no?
No, ain't no parents want to take care of their kids no 180 days a year. I'm sorry, y'all don't want to teach y'all kids. You know y'all don't want to teach y'all kids. You
Okay,
don't
well,
want, as far as
here's
I'm
the thing.
concerned. But like they have standards they have to meet, right? So even homeschool kids have to have, they still have to meet state standards. It's lower than what teachers have to do by far, but it's still pretty considerable. That's a lot of time for parents who have to go to work, especially lower income parents. Yeah, nobody has time for that.
But here's the thing, though. If you look at the statistics, more people are homeschooling their kids anyway. Is that not accurate?
Right now they are. They don't have a choice. They're all stuck home anyway.
Jermaine, you gonna homeschool your kids, Jermaine? He said, "Yeah."
He did. He did. He did.
I don't believe it. I know the restaurants. I know. I went to get me a sandwich today at a restaurant, Bordino's, and they have now. You can't even go in the store. You got they came to the door to take my order, and after my order was done, they brought it to the door. And for me, they would bring it to other people's. They would, have people have to come out of their car, come and pick up their order. But for me, they helped me to my car, but they won't even let
Absolutely
you
not.
in. They go to the store now.
Nah.
We haven't ordered out since this all started, so we have no idea how. Like we've been cooking like a frenzy. Like so, but like I haven't ordered anything, so I have no idea what it would be like. I know I keep getting stuff from like DoorDash telling me that I need to order so I can support these restaurants. I'm like, are they supporting me? Because I'm broke. I ain't got no job right now.
I know a lot of people walking around with these masks looking like Outbreak.
The grocery store is a fun experience.
Now, they were saying that even though everybody's wearing these surgical masks, they were saying the masks don't even work. They said
No, they don't.
They said you have to have a certain type of mask with a certain type of code for it to work. So everybody walking around with these surgical masks think they're doing something. They're looking crazy out here. It was like, what in the world? It's supposed to be like an N95 code is supposed to have on the mask in order for it to be effective.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, I want to be that person on the corner selling these masks, though, right? Right?
Oh,
it's
man.
like those people. Remember New York City, where you went to
Like
New York
about
City and like
everybody.
the rain came out and like all of a sudden there was all these umbrella sales
Umbrellas,
people
yeah.
outside. Remember? Like it would be like dead sunny in New York City. You'd be walking around and all of a sudden a drop of rain and there's like 50 people selling umbrellas. I want to be that person.
That's a nice little hustle right there.
It's a good hustle.
I'm trying to tell you. 'Cause, now, I know that I saw something where they had I don't know how true it is again. I know how you feel about the conspiracy theories, but they were saying that they were trying to do something with 10% of the population. They're trying to get at least 10% of the population infected with the coronavirus. So that means they said that 2% of those infected will die. Now here's the thing. Now again, I was telling you I don't know anybody who has the coronavirus, but I will say this: if you tell me that I have a 98% chance of surviving a virus or any virus for that matter, why should I be scared? If I got a 98% chance, I can go. There's a whole lot of things out there that give me a bigger chance of being killed from. But 98% chance of survival? That's crazy.
I'm gonna let Jermaine talk because I got a lot to say. So Jermaine, you can say something if you want to, but I'm gonna jump in if you don't.
Jermaine sounds like he's a little delayed over there. What you got to say, Taylor?
Well, so the problem isn't that you could survive it. You know what I'm saying? And if you have any upper respiratory issues, you were not. But let's say you don't. Let's say you're perfectly healthy, right? And you got no issues, right? You could be a carrier to your elderly neighbor, your grandparents, your autoimmune deficient neighbor or friend or coworker.
No, I'm trying to get in and say stuff, but I'm not sure if I'm delayed or not. I was trying to ask.
I think you were a little delayed, but I'm going to wait.
See,
Well, I know one thing. I don't know if you guys saw the video that I saw about the company Purell, the sanitizer company,
Mm-hmm.
that they that Purell, it kills basically all the germs if you sanitize your hands with Purell. And Purell was basically advertising as, yeah, Purell kills the germs uh, that comes with coronavirus and all that stuff. But the government told Purell
not a
to
lot
stop
delayed.
saying that and to stop advertising that. Now, why would the government want to stop doing that, Tina? That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know that they did that. So I can't speak on what I don't know. But I can't imagine. Well, there's a lot that could kill it, but I don't know that they said that, so I can't speak definitively on it.
That's crazy. Well, we're having a little bit of technical difficulties, so we're going to take a quick break. So we're going to try to get Maine the Menace caught up with us with this connection there. So if you've been listening, we've been talking about the coronavirus. This is We Do It for the Culture Radio, where our people matter. So stay tuned, and we will be right back to you guys to finish up with them talking about the coronavirus. All right, and thank you for listening.
God damn. I don't know what the fuck's the problem, man. Hello? I don't know what happened, man. This shit just started getting delayed again. This is frustrating as hell.
I had to connect through my Ethernet because I didn't trust my Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, Sugar Booger.
The audio is not working. Yeah, I can do it through the Ethernet. Nope. It's bad.
Yes, I
What
can
the
hear
hell
you.
do?
I'm sorry. I had mine
No
muted.
idea.
I could hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just had mine muted.
Hello? I got the hell's going on?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Disable audio processing.
I did that.
Freaking browser. I don't even know. Yeah, but I asked you that like. Oh, you can hear me now?
Oh, was it a long time ago? I
No.
could, but I
Yeah.
think you
Yeah, I can
between.
hear you, but
I
I'm
think we're
delayed like 30
delayed.
seconds. I don't even know what the problem is. I was hooked. See? Yeah. Hear me now though, right?
No,
No.
I can.
See, you laughing. See, now you didn't hear me. Like 30 seconds. This is bullshit. Yeah, man. That's bullshit ass computer. Yeah, we are. Big time. I don't even know what. I had it hooked up to the Ethernet, but the camera wouldn't work on it. And it was getting closer to time for me to. It was like 7:30. So I had to jump on a laptop again, and this is not working. Not working.
Can you do it on your phone?
Hey, what the fuck is going on? I can do it. Nope. Oh. If I'm still delayed, I'm just. What the fuck I do? I should hear you now. It's like it. Nah. Out. Come back in.
Well, there's still a break. You could do that.
What happened, Tina?
Oh,
Hi.
What happened? We just say?
I can't.
Jermaine, can you hear me? You back with us, Jermaine?
Yo. Hello.
You back with us?
Yo, Cal.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
All right, you back with us, baby. We back, baby.
She's 30 seconds behind. For some fucking. Nah. 30 seconds behind. I can hear everything, but nobody can hear me.
I can hear you.
We can hear you. Are we about to go back
You hear
on?
me?
Like 30
Yeah.
seconds.
Yo.
I can hear you.
Nah, you can't hear me, dude.
Can
No,
you hear me?
I feel like we're saying yes right when
This
we
ain't
hear
working,
it, but
man.
it's like 30 seconds later
Yeah,
for
you
him.
Oh,
Yeah, but that's like 30 seconds ago, 10 seconds ago. Look,
all right, I gotta come
Shit's
back
too
on
delayed.
commercial break, y'all.
Okay.
You can't hear me right. Yeah. I don't know what to do. I'm about to, I'm gonna have to
All
like,
right,
I
y'all.
don't know. Gotta try to fix it.
Welcome back to We Do It For The Culture video. We
Essentially, just be
have
sitting
technical
here.
difficulties here, but we're back. Thank you for listening. We had a little music break. We were talking about the coronavirus with myself, Tina, Man in Minutes. Man in Minutes, how you doing over there, man? You all right? You good?
He's got a little delay.
Okay, so we were talking about the coronavirus. We've
I
covered
mean,
a few
I'm good
things
from my
regarding the
end, but
coronavirus.
like 30 seconds. It's not working right on this.
Okay. All right, we'll get it. We'll get it right. It's all good. We were talking about the depopulation things going on. That's been going around. It's a rumor. I don't know if it's a rumor or whatever, but they've been talking about depopulation, trying to get 10% of the population. They're trying to say that they're trying to infect a lot of most of basically the United States and other countries, but they want to take out at least 8 out of 10 people. Depopulate.
What?
Yeah, I was hurt. Listen, I'm saying, hold on, for you.
All
Check it
right. I'm gonna wait.
before you take my hat off. Okay, now the other countries have always had a problem with the population in Asia, right? Especially Japan.
Okay.
And because of the population situation, they've been talking about for a long time. Okay, trying to do something to depopulate Asia because there's so many people over there and trying to take out some people. But I heard that's also not just for Asia, but also for other countries, especially the United States, where they want to start depopulating. And I believe in some measures, they've already started that process without the coronavirus, whether it's through murder, whether it's through prison, all kind of things, whatever. They started this whole depopulation thing. So, I mean, what do you guys think about that at all?
Jermaine, you want this one?
I'll try. My mind
Okay.
about the depopulation. I've been more on thinking of or trying to figure out ways to keep the virus away. And if we do shit, then we'll, what to try to get it out of myself, like self-contaminate. I mean, quarantine my own self at home. And I looked up a few things, but they're like bizarre ways of getting the viruses out of your body without having to go to the hospital while you're in quarantine.
Hmm.
Well, why wouldn't you want to go to the hospital?
I mean, you're not gonna be able just to stay in the hospital. Just you have to stay home. Or if you catch it, you get tested. They say you have it. And you don't want to go to the hospital, and you stay at home, and then you follow certain steps, because if they don't have any a cure for it or anything to treat it, what am I in the hospital for?
Well, they could treat the symptoms. No.
How they gonna? I mean, my thing is, the common flu has been around for as long as I can remember. They still don't have a cure for that.
Well, because the flu strain changes.
Cold. You can suppress it, but you don't have a cure for the common cold.
Right.
So I mean, we're talking about a man-made virus here. I don't trust none of the vaccines. Right. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I don't even take.
Whoa! Let's say that let's not say it's a man-made virus. Actually, we've actually determined that it's from animal to human transmission, and bats is what we're kind of finding who already had the coronavirus. Typically, it doesn't transmit from animal to human, but it transmitted from animal to human, and that happens sometimes. It doesn't happen very often. It's the same thing that happened with the bird flu. The same thing that happened with the mad cow, right? It's typically they don't transmit, but sometimes they mutate and they transmit to humans. And that's fine. Like I mean, we're all mammals, so yeah, it makes sense that something might move from one to the other at some point in time. That doesn't seem implausible to me. What seems implausible to me, not implausible, is it's when governments try to say, "Well, no, this didn't happen," and so we're going to ignore it for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks before thousands are infected. Before we admit, okay, this is a thing. And that's what happened in China at first. We had Chinese scientists coming out saying this is a thing, and Chinese are very tight-fisted with their information. So they said, no, you don't tell anybody. Then we had people traveling to China, in and out of China, and they traveled all around the world, and now the rest of us have it. But I don't think that this is I just don't believe, at least not.
What, that is man-made?
No, I don't believe it's man-made, and I don't believe that it was unleashed on the world as population control. There's so many other ways to do that. So I just think that it's just it was people not wanting to admit the truth of what happened. And that I can believe. That I can believe is that people don't want you to know that they fucked up somewhere. And they fucked up, and they don't want you to know how bad they fucked up. So they're going to let people get sick until that you can't hide it no more. And that's where we're at. China fucked up so long that they couldn't hide it anymore. And then it followed around the world. And we have the biggest cases all in Iran and Italy and whatever, but the US is just running to catch up now.
I don't believe that the virus is part of the depopulation. I believe that the mandatory vaccine that they're going to try to implement is going to be part of the depopulation. I believe this is just a small part of it. I believe the virus is being used as a vehicle to get to the bigger part of this thing, which is the mandatory vaccine that they're going to try to implement and make people take. And that's going to be what's going to be part of depopulation.
Yeah, but we don't have mandatory vaccines for the flu. Why aren't the flu vaccine mandatory?
They have other mandatory vaccines. I mean, don't they have one for the chicken pox and measles and all that?
We have measles, mumps, and rubella. Yeah, because it was from the 1800s.
And what about chicken pox? We have one for that as well, right?
We have one, but it's not mandatory.
Okay.
And the flu vaccine's not mandatory either. Anymore. I have opted not to get the flu vaccine. I got it 1 year, and I found I got sicker that year than I got any other year, so I never got it again. But I'm not required to. I don't have to get the flu vaccine. I can get it if I want it. But if I was elderly, I mean, I'm 47, just like you, and if I was 80, maybe I would. But I'm not gonna get it now because it makes me sick. So.
Well, I got it one time that made me sick as well. I stopped using it.
I did. I got sick.
Man, you take the flu shot, man? No, right?
Never took the flu shot.
I had it only once, and I will never do it again. I'll never do it again.
It's crazy. I think I don't trust none of these vaccines. A lot of them I think are just are bad news. I see Bill Gates over in Africa, with these vaccines, and I don't know what they got in them. I don't know what they're giving our poor little African children over there, trying to say they out there trying to do mankind and trying to do good. I just don't know. I mean, I hear a lot about vaccines that they're giving to a lot of the black babies, whatever, giving them autism. I just don't trust any of these vaccines at all. None of them, honestly.
Vaccines don't give people autism, though.
Okay, so why would you think that we have more cases of autism than we ever had before?
We don't.
You don't
We
think
have
so?
we have a definition for autism that we didn't have before. 100 years ago, we didn't know what the hell we were talking about. And so, like, all of a sudden, we finally we had definitions for things. But, like, I'm sorry, but if the choice is I have a dead baby or I have a baby with autism, I'm going to take the baby with autism 100 times over. Like, it's just, to me, it's not the same thing. So it's just like, I don't not believe in conspiracies to some degree on smaller scales. But when it's just like the whole world is a conspiracy, that's when I'm like, no, probably not. But everybody's entitled to their opinion. I just like to look up the facts.
Yeah, not the whole world.
The whole world's not a conspiracy, but I do believe there are pockets of it. Like, I believe our current administration has got a lot of conspiracies going on. I think that even in the Clinton administration, even in the Bush administration, there was conspiracies going on. Smaller scale, smaller pockets. But you're talking about the whole world. That's a lot of people.
I just don't trust our government. I just don't trust our media. I don't trust the health department. I don't trust the food and administration. I don't trust none of them, honestly. I think everybody's all in it together to do what they can, whatever, and none of them means any good for none of us. That's how I feel about it.
Right now, I wouldn't either, though, because like Trump hires his cronies to do his job for him. I wouldn't either right now either.
I don't know. It's crazy, man. Look out for that government. Look out. Listen. Remember, you heard it here. Watch out for the mandatory vaccine that they're going to implement. Remember, I said it. Mandatory vaccine is going to be coming soon. Remember, you heard it right here from me, Calvin. Now, check this out. Stimulus checks. Who's taking the stimulus check? I know I'm not. I don't want no parts of it.
I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna spend it, and if they send me a second one, I'm gonna spend that one too.
Hey, listen. You send me a stimulus check, I'm sending it back.
Nah, you ain't sending it back.
Taking it.
You ain't sending it back. You got a new TV.
I don't want no parts of it because I don't know what the ramifications are of taking it. You know what I mean? So I don't want no parts of it.
Well, like what ramifications could that be?
Again, probably a mandatory vaccine or something like that.
Nothing. Paying your bills.
I just don't know, man. I'm skeptical about everything with this government. I'm skeptical of everything, man. I just don't trust nothing or nobody with this government, man. I don't.
Now I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna spend it. I'm gonna cash it the day it comes in. Let me tell you something. The only time socialism is acceptable is when Republicans suggest it. How is that okay? Let a Bernie Sanders be like, yo, let's send our kids to college for like community college for free, or let's get health care for free. Oh no, socialism. But let the government try to send you $1,000 check. Everybody's on board. Everybody's like, let me get that check. I'm gonna go to Walmart and buy me a freaking treadmill. Get out of here with that nonsense.
What was that old joke they used to say? The only way to live like a Republican is to vote Democrat. Something
yes.
Like
that. Yes. They're only Republicans until it doesn't serve their purpose.
I don't know. I used to not vote on the I used to only vote on the local level because I didn't believe that my vote mattered.
It matters
on the bigger scale as far as presidents were concerned. I felt like the presidents were not elected but selected. So I feel like my vote only mattered on the local level. My congressman, my senator, stuff like that, whatever. I mean, so.
But that's what they want you to believe. That's why there's gerrymandering. That's why there's people changing the lines of where we're allowed to vote, because we don't pay attention. Not one large group of brown folk pay attention to what's happening with the lines for where the lines are drawn. We're all just like, oh, we'll just do whatever, or we don't vote at all. See how many brown people vote in midterm elections versus presidential elections. We are dumb as shit. I'm not even kidding. We
You
are
talking
dumb
about
as shit.
you talking about for the general election?
No, general election, you'll get brown folk out to some degree. But midterm elections, where the senators are elected and the local government is elected, we don't come out. We don't go out there for that none of that stuff. You know who is voting? That redneck motherfucker living next door to you. He's voting every single time.
I beg to differ. We've had more brown people come out during the
When?
mid elections than ever before over the last
Never.
couple of years.
No, I need
How,
stats.
how did we get? How did we get the house?
Obama
Then?
We got Obama. That was it because we had a brown dude up there. We all came out for that. We haven't come out since. The statistics are solid. We
Look how
we
got
came
the
out
house.
for
Look, we just got the house, Tina. We just got the house.
we got the house. No,
Obama was not in office when we got the house just now.
we got the house because we got Trump, but we don't have the Senate.
And you don't think we're gonna get the Senate next go around?
I hope so. I every single little bit of my being hopes so, but the Klan is out in forces, dude.
I'll tell you. But we're gonna see. We're gonna have to take another break and take a music break and maybe a word or two from our sponsors. So make sure you stay tuned and come back. We do it for the culture where our people matter. Thank you for tuning in and listening. We will be right back.
I can't. Hi, baby.
Man, what's up, man?
I'm gonna run to the ladies' room. I'll be right back.
Yo, you hear me?
I can hear you, but I'm running to the ladies' room. I'll be right back.
Why is this so delayed? I have to be. Yeah, but she late. Like I'm not here. I don't know. I can't do this shit like this. Yo, Callie. Hey. Yo. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm looking at the fucking screen. Nobody hears me talking. Yo, Calvin. They call this dude up. Yo, this is not fucking doing the right thing. I don't know what the fuck to do. I was good for a moment. Good for a minute, and then this shit just fucking comes on. Working all this time. Look, I'm a goddamn fool. Yo, I'm gonna freaking back out. I can't sit here and just look stupid and be talking 30 seconds later, because then when you're talking, I just with the last questions and just looking dumb. Yo, what's up, man? It's fucking, I don't know what the fuck going on. I can hear you guys and everything, but I don't know. Every time I say something, it's just
All right, all right, all right. You're gonna learn today. You're gonna learn today. Welcome back to We Do It for the Culture Radio, where our people welcome back to We Do It for the Culture Radio, where our stories matter. And we were talking about the coronavirus. If you've been listening, you know we've been going back on a few different things on the coronavirus, whether it was depopulation. We've also talked about the schools being out. We've talked about the restaurants. And we've also covered where it possibly started at, from whether it was here, whether it was Japan, how many people have died from it. You know, so we've been covering a little bit of everything when it comes to coronavirus. We're having some technical difficulties with Maine the Menace, but you still have myself, me, and Tina here. So we're gonna, close out the show a little bit, and just try to give you our little 2 cents about what you can do going forward with this coronavirus and how you may want to keep yourself safe. Tina, do you have any last words you want to say before I dive in?
About how to keep safe.
Yeah.
Obviously stay away, keep an appropriate distance. Try to stay home where you can, but like still go out there. Like still experience the world, go outside, go for a walk, take your dog for a walk, like be out there, but just wash your hands.
Well, I tell you what, the coronavirus has not stopped me from doing anything. I already wash my hands. I already make sure I keep my hands clean and all that stuff. So I don't have to do anything really out of the usual things I usually do every day. I still go out my home every day. I ain't wearing no mask. You know what I mean? You want to give me dap, you can still give me dap. I don't care about none of that. I'm not scared. Like I said, if you got a 98% chance of surviving, I'm not scared. If you tell me, you know what I mean, something other than that, then that's one thing. But if I got a 98% chance of surviving this thing, there's no reason for me to be scared. I'm going to continue doing my thing. They talked about, like I said, they was talking about the stimulus check. Now, they said that even if you haven't filed your taxes or even if you relocated, you can still get the stimulus check that they're giving out. I would be wary about it. I know if they send it to me, I'm sending it back. I want no part of it because I don't know if there's, any ramifications with it. I don't know if it's, if there's any strings attached. I just don't know. So I don't want any parts of a stimulus check. Keep it. I don't want it. I will say keep yourself safe. Check on your loved ones. Keep sanitizing your hands. Keep some hand sanitizer with you. All that. But we just want to say that we wish everybody well. We wish everybody who's hurting or going through the coronavirus. We wish you Godspeed. For myself, Tina, Maine the Menace, thank you for listening to We Do It for the Culture Radio. We will be back Wednesday around 8 o'clock. So be on the lookout for us, and we're going to have some more great topics that we're going to be talking about. So tell your mother, tell a friend, and make sure y'all come back again to We Do It for the Culture Radio. 5 minus 4. Juanito.